So I've recently been reading about these so-called black-eyed kids, and I admit I was a little scared. How could you not be after hearing things like, they only show up if you know about them? But come on this Reddit, how much of this could actually be true? Unfortunately, I was so wrong. It happened about a week ago. I had just gotten home from work around 6 p.m. Pacific Coast time, as I live in sunny California, for all you people who are wondering where this happened. Anyways, back to the story. I live with 3 of my friends, but tonight they were all out doing their own thing, which I was completely fine by, since I hadn't had time to myself in a while. I repeated my daily routine after work. I took a nice hot shower, made some dinner, watched some TV, and got ready for bed. By this point, it was around 11:45, and I was exhausted. I had just closed my eyes to get some well-deserved shut-eye when I heard a loud knock at my door. At first, I thought it was just one of my roommates, but they all had keys. That's when I decided that I should probably go check who was at the door. Annoyed, I got back up and made my way to the door. Now, the first thing you do at night before opening the door is check the window or peephole to see who's at the door. And that's exactly what I intended to do, but for some strange reason I went to opening the door. That's when I saw them at first. I wasn't too intimidated. I mean, what could go wrong? They're just kids, right? At this point, I could clearly make them out. They were both boys. I'm guessing around anywhere between 10 to 15 years old, and staring directly at the ground. They were both pale, almost like they were fading away in front of my eyes. One of the boys had brown hair, but even that seems like it was fading. The other, who was a bit shorter, had black hair. Now, before you go ahead of yourself, this isn't weird by any means at all. At least not in my neighborhood. There was always kids playing around my neighborhood at this time of night, but this was the first time they had actually knocked at my door. After what seemed like an eternity of complete silence, a taller boy with the brown hair asked me to let him in, and that's when I was hit with a deep feeling of despair and terror. After a second of hesitation, I was finally able to ask, "Are you kids okay?" Again, the taller boy asked, more forcefully this time, "Let us in. We need to call home." So many things were rushed through my head at this point, I almost didn't believe this was happening. There's no way in hell those black-eyed kids' story were true. Terrified, I tried asking them to leave, but was interrupted by the taller boy again, asking me to let him in, and if I didn't, they'd never be able to go home. Almost as if hypnotized, I slowly started opening the door wider and wider. I had no idea what was coming over me. I was about to say the magic words, giving them full right to come in. That's when I caught a quick glimpse of the shorter boy's eyes. There was nothing, only abyss of blackness staring into my soul. I don't really know what, but my body suddenly reacted and I slammed the door in their faces. I probably stood there for an hour still in shock before one of my roommates opened the door and nearly hit me with it. I couldn't go to sleep at night. I actually haven't slept well all that lately. Sometimes when I stare out from my bedroom window, I still see the 2 boys standing at the light post not too far from my house. I think they're waiting for something, but I'm not sure what. What I do know is that if you see kids at your door, don't bother opening it. It may very well be the end. My experience with BEK or BEW, black-eyed women, happened in mid-December last year. I was living in downtown Phoenix at the time and just moved into my apartment the previous month. I was out with some friends that night and got home around 10 p.m. I had to be at work at 5 a.m., so I went straight to bed. I woke up abruptly to a knocking on my door and thought, "It's 2 a.m. Who the hell's at my door?" I laid my head back down. I heard the knocking again. I peeked out my window to see who it was, and it was a young Hispanic woman who was very pale. She yelled, "I need your help!" I immediately sprung out of bed thinking this girl was in trouble. I instantly thought of my sister or mom. If they were in that position, I hoped someone would help. I cracked the door open and asked, "Are you okay? What's wrong?" She said, "I need to use your phone." Her voice was very calm, but something was just wrong. She was about 5'8", 18 to 20 years old. Everything about her seemed normal, but she had these strange glasses on and a strange vibe. I told her, "Hold on, let me grab it." I went back into my room to grab my phone when I heard the door slowly open. I quickly began to have second thoughts about what I just did, opening the door to a stranger that early. I walked back out to give her my phone when I saw her laying on my couch. I told her, "Make it quick, I need to be at work in a few hours." As I said that, she turned her head towards me, took off her glasses, and smiled. I couldn't move. Her eyes were completely black, like someone sharpied her eyeballs, and had some type of black substance in her teeth. She stood up and eased her ways towards me. I tossed her the phone, not wanting to be anywhere near this person. She grabbed it and made 2 calls, which I later found were disconnected numbers. When she was done, I asked her, "Can you wait outside for your ride? I need to sleep." She replied, "I can't leave." I said, "You need to wait outside. You can't be in here." She began to cry. I told her I'm sorry for whatever happened to you, but you really can't be in here. She looked at me, smiled, and asked, "Can I use your bathroom before I leave?" I pointed to the bathroom, and she went into it without closing the door. I grabbed my phone from the coffee table, dialed 911, but it didn't go through. I yelled, "You need to leave now!" I heard nothing from her. I peeked into the bathroom, and what I saw will haunt me forever. She was scratching at her face and smiling in the mirror. I saw that and ran into my room and locked the door. I kept yelling, "I called the police." I heard her giggle and say, "I told you I can't leave." I wanted to cry. I was shaking and didn't know what to do. I kept yelling to myself, I'm strong. About 5 minutes went by and I heard knocking on the door again, as if the situation was in replay. I peeked out of my window to see it was a concerned neighbor, but it was her again. I sprinted to my door to lock it, but it already was. I was paralyzed in fear. How could she lock my door from the outside and be out? I cracked my window open and threw out a sweatshirt with $20 in it. I yelled, "Get a cab, hitch a ride, just leave me alone." She didn't touch the sweatshirt or the money and sat there on my steps as she was waiting for me. I began pounding the connecting wall to my neighbor. I dialed 911 and it finally went through. As I explained the situation to the dispatcher, I peeked out the window to see her gone along with my sweatshirt. I felt the biggest relief. Needless to say, I didn't sleep for the rest of the morning. As I left work, I opened the door to see my $20 bill. I picked it up, ran to my car, and left for work. I'm not exactly sure what I experienced last night, but I will surely never ever forget it.